13 problems only highly sensitive people will understand. 1. You are your own worst critic. While we all know that we aren't perfect, we all make mistakes. So when you think about a mistake that you've made, tell yourself that it's okay. Making mistakes is normal. HSPs find it extremely difficult to forgive themselves for the mistakes they've made in their life, and for this, they hold themselves to an extremely high standard. 2. You regularly feel emotionally exhausted. Are you generally the person that is empathetic towards people? Does this ever feel overwhelming because you're emotionally drained? Well, because HSPs process other people's emotions and experiences much deeper than the person himself, when an HSP is out all day catching up with friends and listening to their deep-rooted stories and secrets, an HSP could feel as if they're on an emotional roller coaster at the end of the day. 3. You're uncomfortable with change. When you try something out of the ordinary or go to a place that you've never been to before, are you uncomfortable? Are you so used to doing the things that you usually do that you hesitate to change things up just to avoid feeling uncomfortable? As an HSP, before you can start feeling comfortable in a new environment, you have to take your time to settle in first. Once you're settled, you're then able to completely let go and be yourself. Number 4, easily triggered by violence. How do you feel when you're watching a really violent graphic movie? How do you feel when someone tells you an extremely detailed and horrifically violent story? Are you immediately turned off by this and say, nope, nope, nope? Well, this could mean that you're highly sensitive. HSPs have a very strong negative reaction towards violence and cruelty, even if this is just a movie. Knowing that it's fake does not warrant the level of violence that an HSP can handle. 5. You struggle to move on. Does being hurt 7 years ago still sting today? Are you still crying about a breakup with your ex from 2 years ago? This is okay, and it's really not weird, it's just high sensitivity. Being highly sensitive means that you struggle to let go of things that you probably should let go of. While you understand that someone saying something hurtful to you, or still thinking about your ex that cheated on you and broke your heart, isn't really a big deal, because you will heal, the reality is that to you it still matters, and therefore you are still struggling to let these emotions go. Number 6. You don't do well under pressure. When people say that they do really well under pressure, or they can effectively complete tasks, especially when the heat is on, well, those are perfect examples of people who aren't HSPs. Multitasking, working in an environment where deadlines are everywhere, simply isn't for them. HSPs hate working under pressure because they struggle to juggle all their responsibilities. They find it difficult to complete their work properly or accurately by a set date and time. HSPs prefer taking their time when working on things because they're much more effective when they focus on one task at a time and moving at their own pace. This allows for them to showcase their true capabilities and work ethic. 7. Scrutinize social interactions. Do you usually notice the little things in people or your surroundings when you're out and about? Are your friends impressed when you do and when you're right about it? Well, this is because you notice lots of things, the things that people wouldn't generally pay attention to. You very easily pick up when someone is being passive-aggressive or condescending. You pick up on certain tones, and this could result in you overthinking the situation and making it much bigger than what it actually is. 8. You cannot function without sleep. When we have a good night's rest, we tend to wake up feeling alive and full of energy. However, when we don't sleep well, we wake up grumpy and miserable. Highly sensitive people will experience these symptoms much more intensely, and that is because they require much more sleep in order to function effectively throughout the day. 9. You don't react well to criticism and conflict. How does it make you feel when you've worked super hard on a project and you're happy with the result, but your boss says that they want it differently? When dealing with HSPs, it's important to be extra considerate and careful of their emotions. HSPs will feel less attacked if approached in a more subtle or gentle manner. Their soft nature could result in them taking most things as an attack. They might isolate themselves and begin overthinking their self-worth. Raising your voice and criticizing their work can deeply affect an HSP, thus leaving them anxious for a very long time, even if you mean well. 10. You're often misunderstood. As an HSP, it can be difficult for other people to relate to you because only 1 in every 5 people are HSPs. This means that you're often misunderstood. You're regarded as different and too emotional. A lot of people don't understand that a highly sensitive person isn't something that one chooses, such as picking out a pair of sneakers. 11. Can't stand loud noises. Does the thought of going to a party with loud music or going to a festival with groups of people who will most likely be screaming at the top of their voices instantly annoy you and make you feel as if you don't want to go? Are you triggered when someone speaks too loudly in your presence, be it in conversation with 1 or 2 people, or even during a meeting at work? Well, this could be a sign that you're an HSP. These loud sounds, music, or noises are quite overwhelming for HSPs and could set them to shut down when these loud noises become unbearable. So it's probably good to keep this in mind should any of your friends seem like a party pooper when they ask to leave early for their well-being. 12. You require alone time. Do you ever tell someone that you need some time alone, but they stick around and keep talking to you anyway? Well, chances are they don't really understand that you require solitude. HSPs cannot be around people every single day for long periods of time. Some days are harder than others. They require more emotional rest because they process their thoughts on a much deeper level compared to others. 13. Boundaries are easily crossed. When a close friend or loved one calls you and asks for help, you will give them a hearing and offer support because it's in your nature to do so. But how bad do you feel about the situation? Do you still feel bad when their problems are beyond your control? Or is your compassion so intense that your boundary overrides it? HSPs are quite compassionate, and they always feel other people's situation 10 times more than the person themselves, so they'll always say yes no matter what. They do this to keep the peace and to avoid letting others down. These are the things only highly sensitive people can relate to. Do you think you're highly sensitive? Do you know someone who is or might be? Let us know in the comments. As always, thanks for watching, Psychedologists, and remember, if you liked this video, then be sure to subscribe for more.